Long before the mega yachts and the $2 trillion market cap, the architect of modern retail was an intensely driven tech nerd. At Princeton, he double majored in electrical engineering and computer science, fueling an ambition that classmates described as bordering on intense. By 30, he had reached senior VP at a prestigious Wall Street hedge fund. But in 1994, he found a statistic that changed his trajectory. While most market growth follows a predictable climb, this data showed the internet was growing at 2,300% per year. The line on the chart essentially spiked vertical. Bezos quit his job immediately. He convinced his wife Mackenzie to leave her career as well, and as she drove their beat-up Chevy Blazer from New York to Seattle, he sat in the passenger seat typing out a business plan on his laptop. He recognized that a growth rate of 2,300% would eventually swallow traditional commerce. He moved to capture that expansion before the rest of the world even understood the stakes. He chose to sell books because they were standardized, easy to ship, and represented a massive catalog that no physical store could match. They served as a calculated entry point into the broader world of e-commerce. To dominate the market, he adopted a get big fast philosophy, prioritizing scale over comfort. The early office was a site of functional chaos, where employees worked on makeshift desks made from cheap wooden doors bolted to 2x4s to save every possible dollar for growth. When Amazon went public in 1997, it still hadn't turned a profit. The company's heavy spending led Wall Street analysts to mockingly label a business Amazon Toast, predicting it would burn through its cash and collapse. Bezos ignored the criticism. He intentionally sidelined short-term profits to focus on a different metric: acquiring the largest possible customer base for the system he was building. The strategy was tested in 2000 when the dot-com bubble burst. Tech stocks imploded, and Amazon's stock price plummeted from over $100 to just $6. As competitors vanished overnight, analysts predicted Amazon would be the next to file for bankruptcy. Bezos responded with surgical precision. He slashed the company's burn rate, eliminated entire teams, and ended every experimental project that wasn't core to the company's survival. The crisis forced a transition. The chaotic energy of the startup days was gone, replaced by a hardened, highly systematic operational machine designed to withstand market volatility. That machine focused first on hard logistics. Bezos replaced the original garages with a precise empire of fulfillment centers, where barcode scanners and robotic automation tracked every package and every employee movement down to the second. In 2005, Amazon used this infrastructure to launch Prime. Competitors viewed the offer of unlimited 2-day shipping as a massive financial liability that would eventually bankrupt the company. This loop illustrates the psychological mechanism behind Prime. Once a customer pays the upfront membership fee, they feel a drive to get their money's worth. They stop comparing prices elsewhere and ignore competitors, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of frequent purchasing. With consumer loyalty locked in, Amazon targeted the publishing industry. The launch of the Kindle didn't just change how people bought books, it rewrote the business model of the entire industry by replacing physical paper with digital distribution. Amazon moved beyond winning customers through service. It engineered human loyalty into a systematic, unavoidable habit. Bezos then expanded the platform by launching Amazon Marketplace, allowing third-party sellers to list their products directly alongside Amazon's own inventory. This data funnel shows the advantage Amazon gained. By hosting other sellers, Amazon monitored exactly which products were successful. They then used that data to launch their own lower-priced versions, effectively crushing the third-party sellers who identified the market first. Behind the scenes, the company was also solving its own server capacity issues. This internal project eventually became Amazon Web Services, or AWS, a flexible cloud infrastructure they decided to rent to the public. AWS became so dominant that even major rivals like Netflix and Walmart found themselves paying Amazon just to keep their digital operations online. Bezos now controlled the digital infrastructure of modern capitalism, effectively levying a tax on the entire internet. By the late 2010s, the machine was inescapable, controlling everything from Whole Foods to the Washington Post. But that scale brought intense scrutiny, including congressional antitrust hearings and reports of grueling, high-pressure conditions inside the warehouses. In 2021, at the height of the company's power, Bezos stepped down as CEO. He handed control to Andy Jassy, the man who had built AWS into a global powerhouse. This wasn't a standard corporate retirement. It was the moment an engineer finished building a self-sustaining machine and simply walked away. His focus shifted immediately to Blue Origin, his private space company. He was finally pursuing the dream detailed in his high school speech: colonizing space. His stated ambition involves moving all heavy industry off-planet to keep Earth pristine, using the moon as a primary base for human expansion. The $2 trillion Amazon empire provided the necessary capital for his actual endgame, a financial launchpad to the stars.